Okay, welcome back to the stream part 3. So as we have discussed on part 2, we have been accomplishing the pipeline already regarding the emails and all the automations from test 1 to test 2 to the interview. Of course, we then have just to replace all the links and also the names, but that should be fine for now here. The next thing we have to discuss now, I mean, maybe this is just for us a specific use case, but the next thing is, of course, all the freelancers that we have to manage. Now, the freelancers themselves are not going the same route here. So we can basically go the same route, but we need to feed them a little bit differently. So we also send them a first test, but in our case, we need specific freelancer for specific roles, and they can also decide on what show they would like to apply. Again, like this is maybe pretty specific for our use case, but yeah, let's just go in. So we for example, are looking both a video editor for the full-time position, but at the same time we have multiple YouTube channels and we always need like freelancers for those channels. Because sometimes those channels are not performing well, and then we basically have to adjust the settings there, and some other channels performing way better, and then we need more freelancers there. Therefore, we need like several sub job posts, so they can apply in the first round here, like for the video editor, but then we have the subcategory. So the video editor is the main category. So let's just create this one here. So for this one, we can just select a select field. Let's just call it post type here, and we can then select here basically like this is a main post and this one is a sub post. Again, like this is pretty specific for our use case probably, but you can take this and apply it to yours. So the idea here is that we have, for example, for those two, we need like the main post, like we always need a video editor, but then we would like to have something below. So it's kind of like the video editor for faceless channel OTR, for example. And what they have to do is create simple storyboards, edit simple videos, and now we could add also, like this could be done online. And what we can actually add also here is like the level type. So for example, what level is needed for this position. Like this one here is super beginner friendly. So let's just create another field so that we can really arrange those job posts accordingly. experience level, and let's just give it 3. Level 1. Oops. Level 2 medium. Okay, so for this one, for example, this is a sub post with the beginner level so that we can then separate those one. For this one, we can just apply also a simple image here. So again, we use the extension. Let's just use, oops, sorry. So technically everyone can apply. So the application form for the first round is the same. And we want to keep it actually like, of course, like the less table we have, the better. And we can then add the fields that are needed inside those tables. So let's just keep it simple here. The application form is also the same. But actually they do not need the application form because they are applying here as video editor, and they can then apply for the tests. So therefore we do not need an application form, but let's just apply it here. And they also do not need a second round for this beginner type level. And this is just one example, but let's check this one out here and read the job description, but the short one. Okay, here we go. This is looking fine enough. And for the first test, we actually have already like an instruction. But let's just go here and continue first. So in the second round, what we want is not only the job profile for the second round, but if they are a freelancer. So what we are doing is we'll look up this field here. I forgot which field it was. Profile. Candidate type. I think this one. Let's just check this one here. Candidate type. There is none. Okay, freelancer. So then we can... Let's just go back here and bring it back to lookup candidate. And here we go. We have the freelancer. Let's just see if this is actually possible or not. Let's go to the interface and build a form here, continue. And I'm not sure if that's possible. I also have to check this one out here. Okay, let's just see if that's possible. And the idea is I would just want to showcase the job profiles for sub profiles here, but only if they are a freelancer. So from the post before. So let's just go here and let's bring first this other field. And is visible only if okay, seems not to be possible here, the way I thought. So then we probably need to create two forms. Which, of course, would make it a little bit trickier. Let's think first. Okay, so the main person is then for the first round submitting it here. Okay, that's how we can do it. For those, they can submit here and we input another interface there. Okay, so let's just create a section here. Let's just call this one here first test, but for freelancers. And here they have to select themselves, paste the link, the duration, the rating, that's something we do not want. So here we have the job position. And then let's limit this one here, limit selection to maximum 1. And of course here we also want to limit it to 1. They submit to test, and what we need besides the test link from them is what we need, which is important for us, is the rate per hour. We can then later on calculate basically a rating based on the duration, rate per hour, and yeah, the quality. Where is that? Oops. Wrong table, but we want it here. Currency, and then fee per hour, Filipino pesos. And let's go back here. Select fee per hour. And now they have to paste the link, the duration, fee per hour. They have to select themselves. Let's just require all. And let's see how it's looking like. Let's test this one out. Okay, this is what the freelancer would see. Select yourself. Okay, that's pretty clear. What are you applying for? Oh, here we have to filter it only for the sub posts. Link, duration. Okay, we have to write here in minutes. Fee per hour. Okay, perfect. Let's just edit this one here. And here we just want to limit this one here. Post type, and this is a sub post. And here Okay, now let's just group this one so that we are really having a separation here. So the first group we need, of course, is it like a main or a sub post? So post type. So this one is a main and this one is a sub post. Beginner level. Let's just keep it to all here. Those are open. And what do we need? Freelancer. Let's just go here. So they are applying for the first test. Let's go here. That should be the record. That's fine. And then now let's just think a little bit. Okay, so they have the first test. In this case, we already have a test. Let me just get the test here. Yeah, so here just a simple instruction like read this, this, and that. So this is just for one of the channels. So for this one, we actually do not need to create a job post because, again, like we start with the job post, the video editor, and then they can decide would they apply for a full-time or a freelance career, and they can then decide like how to continue basically. Okay, so now we have this one. And let's just do okay, let's go to the first test again, first round. So let's just say we have this applicant here who submitted something. We gave it a rating 4 stars. It took him 1 hour. And let's just say he charges like 600 pesos per hour. Now let's just create a formula, which maybe GPT can help us. And let's just do a quick screenshot here so that GPT understands the Whoops. Wrong one. Let's see what he's suggesting. Okay, GPT did a bad job here, but let's just try it one more time. So, calculate. Okay, wait, too lazy to clean this formula. Okay, maybe I have to use my own brain, but I'm too lazy. Okay, let's try it one more time here and see if it makes sense. Why do we have... Let's just send it one more time and then actually I'm good. I hope GPT can find this one, the solution here. Okay, because the duration was not complete, but let's see. Oh no. Why? Come on. Okay. This formula goes beyond my capabilities. Okay, if it's not working, I'll just continue for now. Just do a note here. Okay, let's just do a note. I'm too lazy for it now. Sticky note. Sometimes Claude actually is doing a better job. Let's just check it one more. Let's see, Claude. What? Okay. Dum, 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 dum. Let's see if Airtable is capable of doing it. Nope. Okay, so let's just continue. I'll check this one later out, but that's definitely part of it. Okay, so now let's just say they are applying as a freelancer. So what do we have to do here is on all emails, after the submission, we send them to a Loom video, which is fine. Also the freelancer will receive it. And then we send them to the test round. And they should also receive the follow-up. Okay, that's all good. But for round 2, so let's just see, the status is then changing here. Let's create an automation. So if the status is review test 1 and freelancer, and he has submit test 1. So if all those conditions are there, we just bring it closer for now. So we have the first round. So the freelancer, we send the test, and then for the freelancer, review test 1. And as soon as we rate, okay, so what are we doing here? For the first round, as soon as they get a good score, what we want is that we send them an email. So for that, we need to change the status and we need to do a decision. They are then shortlisted. Okay. So on stage 2, reminder, need action. That's all good. So what we want here is inside our first round, if the condition or let's do it this way. Inside our first round, we want a table only for freelancer. So all freelancers, and this one needs to be filtered by the condition applicant profile is applying ist candidate type is freelancer. So if they enter this view, if they enter this view here, then we just update the record here on our application profile. To needs a decision. Update freelancer status. So let's just run a test. So now the freelancer has submitted something. And now the only thing we have to do is, after the submission, we need to do a decision. And we jump from review test 1, which was set here before. We do not need this one actually, but it's fine. We just jump straight and surpassing basically all the other fields here, we need to do a decision already based on the test. And then we can do an interview with them if we like to. Okay, let's just go here. So that should be fine. So let's just assume we need a decision here, and then of course the automation also kicks in. Let's just double check. So we have here the automation for the first follow-up after test 2 and the interview. Although here we have no formula yet saying that we need to also write an action if it's need on decision. Okay, this is kind of confusing now, also for me a little bit, but I think I will be there in a bit. So let's just figure this out. Okay, so here on stage 4, we need, after the interview, oh, that's fine. Okay, so the formula also is taking on, it doesn't matter if it's like a freelancer or a full-time applicant. So we have here on our status, if it's needs decision, then yeah, it also reminds us on Slack, like, hey, we have this candidate and we need a decision for this candidate here. So that's kind of like a reminder for us as well. And we can just check the profile here. So go to this profile and double check. You can see here the test and so on and so on. And of course we need to arrange this one here. Okay, this is looking good. So let's just draw it here inside. This one is for full time. And down below here for freelancers. Okay, so what's happening? The first automation is we send the email after they submitted the form. They go through the same route here. So let's just duplicate this one. It's the same route actually, which they have to do, but now they do not have to do this and not that, and no interview. And they jump straight here into make the final call. So that's our case for decision. And then we do test projects or rejected. Okay. But we also send them another email to our other platform UC, and let's just mark this one gray. Okay, so let's just write the rejection mail. Okay. Okay, and now what we could do is actually, let's just say they received the rejection email. What we want is basically another status field where they can decide if they want to stay in the table for possible other jobs, just to be also emailed for special jobs or new offerings or new job openings, or if they want to get basically cancelled completely. can just use the same action actually here. Just forgot about that one. Okay, that's if you do the table one day before and continue the next day, you then forget about this one here. So this one is not needed. So let's just say they are rejected. Let's just include the other one here. Okay, and now what we want is to send those with a rejection, those here with a rejection but who are freelancers. So rejected but freelancers. Okay, now what do we have here? Let's just generate a preview. So let's just change this one for now. Again, just to check how it looks like. Hey, thank you for the recent. Okay, it's kind of YouTube show. Okay, let's just do here. And maybe what they can is a reminder of the links. So job board first round. So now they have here all the YouTube shows. Let's just share this link here. Our selection based on rating system, and you can apply for multiple YouTube show here. Even if you have not selected for some shows, you are encouraged to keep applying. It might be a perfect fit in the future. Opt out and platform. Okay. It's quite a long email, and probably not all will read this one here. But this just makes it easier. And who knows, maybe it helps one or two out of them. Okay, what do we have now? So let's just recap here. Okay, now we could start maybe with the next phase. Yep. Okay, now we have the full-time, we have the freelancer. And if they are hired, so before the first job, or if they're good enough, we can then actually start having also initial call with them and ask them to fulfill the form. Okay, that's then for the later stage. Let's just try one more time here. Claude, please. still not working. Okay. Anyway, then I would say, let's just update this one here. Let's do a quick break and then we can continue. Okay, now we're back. And as I said, we will continue with the onboarding. Now we keep the onboarding here really simple. This is not for project management, nor we want any complex automations here, but this one should be really simplified. So that means like we have an onboarding phase and they have then to accomplish specific tasks. Now, I already asked ChatGPT to give me a list here of possible onboarding tasks. And of course, this needs to be updated regarding the onboarding tasks that you might need for your company. Like in our case, when it comes to the freelancers, we actually just want like Slack integration, filling out the inner circle form, ClickUp, like pretty simple stuff. So we do not need anything like any contract and so far and so on. So that they have to do those things. So we have here the task name and then there is the task description. Which they can then open and technically fulfill. So we can then basically start here saying like, okay, we have one person. Who is the person and what is the status? When are we starting? When do this person has time to accomplish what task and until when? So that we can, I mean, that's an automation we can then build. Let's just delete this one. I think that was a mistake here. And so let's just assume we would do the onboarding starting today and the person has then time to accomplish those tasks. Now what we need here is again the lookup field, candidate type, freelancer, so that we can then assign this freelancer specific tasks or yeah, for the type basically, like is it a freelancer or a full-time person? And here we can then check, is it in progress or is the onboarding all clear, everything good? And maybe we can also add here a notes field. Notes, so if ever we want to change or enhance something, we can do that here inside. So now the question is, of course, like how do we get those tasks here inside? And what are we doing? So for this one, let's just do two simple things here. So we have this grid view onboarding task and we can connect this task to a specific person, which we will not do now because I do not want to connect like my other tables here. Let's just close this one here. Or let's just let's let it open. And what do we want here is a multi-select field. And so we can choose here, like, for who is this task? So for example, the employment contract, I mean, that's later on, but let's just say here the payroll information. This is for now, just for all actually. Let's just do it this way. And let's just do maybe here, create a Slack account. Here is how xxx.com. And everyone has to do that one. But then there is something like, okay, let's just do something like update freelance profile. And this one is just for the freelancer. And for this one, we have created this already, this table. And let's just, I'm not sure if we have the form already or not. No, it seems not. So let's go here back to the to the onboarding task. And here we can then add the task description, fill out this form. And this one is just for the freelancer. But how can we apply now all the freelancer related tasks to the onboarding? Now, every time we have a freelancer on our onboarding, so let's just go here and we have already the section onboarding here. The first thing we want to do is here inside, when we have our status needs a decision, actually, we can then move on here to onboarding. Okay. So every time we onboard, we change the status from applicant profile to onboarding. What happen will we create a record inside of onboarding. Create inside of onboarding a record, and we want this to be connected. Create an onboard. Okay, let's just test the automation here. Let's just turn this on. So it needs a decision. Now our applicant is moving to the onboarding stage, and it should create, perfect. It should create an onboarding here. Now let's give maybe the start date and due date, because that's something which I do not want to do manually. So let's just move it to automation here and update the fields, start date. Or wait, let me think. Actually, we do not need a start and I mean, maybe, but okay, let's leave it blank for now. Instead, what we want is the onboarding status to in progress. And what we need then, once this has been done, is we need to look for records in the table onboarding tasks, and we needed to look for condition type. So let's just do a test. Choose record, tail, create record. Okay, and now we are looking. Oh, wait, this is completely wrong. We are looking on our onboarding task for the condition where let's just give it the same name here. Then it will be easier. So we have the freelancer, intern, full-time. Is it all the same name? Full-time, intern. Okay, now let's check again. But what we need is applying for as any. Let's see if it's working. Name. And let's test the action here. Perfect. We see all the tasks. Let's do it this way. So we create the record, and then on the onboarding task, we want all the items. Let's test this one. Perfect. Okay, so what we did was, based on the application profile, if the status is onboarding, then look for the same condition here and then create a record with the onboarding status in progress and apply those tasks from this list. Let's just test this one now with full time. So let's just say we have this other person here. Let's call him Mr. Test. And let's do this one as an intern. And let's move straight into onboarding. Perfect. It's working great. So here we have Mr. Test is an intern, and we have only those two tasks. Now, if you're wondering why we do not have tasks here, it's because we did the automation after that. Let's just test this one again. So here we want to just empty the field here and do the onboarding again. Here we go. So here we have this time 3 tasks, as we can see. And this is actually perfect. Okay, of course, like the tasks, they definitely needs to be updated, and also like we need definitely also like offboarding tasks, but that's fine for now. Let's just focus on the views and let's build this one later out, because now it's working, but we have to display this here. And in order to display it, we have to share, of course, the view, because at the end of the day, we want to share the specific view only for the specific person here. And we do that with later on interfaces. But for now, let's just do the Miro first. Let's just close this one here. And let's do all the views for now. Now, of course, not every status needs like all the different views here, but since this is our back end and we will focus later on in designing the front end, this will be totally fine. But let's just change this one here just to make it simpler. So application status, new, and here we just want new. Again, like what you want to do is actually like hide now all the unnecessary fields, like all the formulas, to keep those things clean. Okay, now this is looking already way cleaner, but of course we can clean this even further. Okay, something like that here. So now we have a clean view. Look, we have already hidden 25 fields, and that's something we can then do with the rest under review. So we put all the archives later on. So those who do not want to receive any emails, like it's kind of like after the rejection actually. Okay. Now we could of course always play with other views, and we do not have to restrict ourselves just with the gallery or grid view, but for example, under review where we have all those statuses, we could actually duplicate this one here. Or let's just delete this one. And for example, what we could do is a Kanban view. Call it under review. Oops. Make a decision, sorry. And based on the profile status here, candidate. And now what we can do here is, of course, we can collapse all the fields. And move basically items from left to right here. But again, this is something we do not need, so we can delete this one. Okay, this should be fine. Let's move on to first round. Test results. So, oh, by the way, we updated here the formula, which is kind of like simplified. We have here the total cost, so per hour actually. So if someone is taking, let's say, 90 minutes, the total cost would be per hour 150. Then we have the cost efficiency, which basically is a calculation, total cost divided by the rating. Now, again, like this definitely needs to be updated. So here we then have a higher number if the rating is good. So the lower the number here, the better. So let's just say this guy here has a total cost of 150. So the total cost plays a huge role. And here we have a performance score that calculates basically the rating times 0.7 plus 100 divided by the cost efficiency times 0.3. So that means, like, let's just say we have 3 people, two has 5 stars, one has a 4-star. This one takes 60 minutes, this one 90 minutes, this one 60 minutes, this one 200, this one 200, and this one 300. We have then a score here, and based on the score, this one here is the best choice. Now let's just say this one would be 250, and we can see already that this one has the most score. Why? Because he's like the cheapest and he has or she has a good rating. But should we, for example, dial down the rating here, this one is moving down as the rating plays a big role here. But we could also compare, let's just this one here. So this one is more expensive, or let's do it this way. Okay, the top person here is cheaper, but has only 4 stars. The lower person has 5 stars. It is a bit more expensive. So therefore, the total score is higher because we, of course, like, we prefer a good rating. But if the cost would be so much more expensive, let's just say 450, sorry. 450, we can see it comes already closer. And if we go even further, and let's say he accomplished this one, and he has now this amount. Let's just say he's charging the same here. So this guy here charged 600 and this one charged 300. Sorry, this guy here charged 300. Sorry for the confusion. And this one here 600. So the expensive guy has 5 stars. The not expensive has only 4 stars. As we can see, we would still rank the not so expensive guy here lower. But we can always adjust. Should we like want to change something, we can always adjust this one here. So here we could say 0.4 and here we could say 0.6 to adjust kind of like the balance, and now it's closer. And this is then something we can of course adjust. Let's just say this guy is super good but also super expensive. His rate is now 900. Let's just change it back here. 0.7 and 0.3. Okay. And let's make him 1200 and okay, 3.6. Yeah, okay, the formula definitely needs to be updated. It's like working in the beginning, but then it's falling apart. Anyway, but the idea here is that we have a total cost based on the duration, and then we have a cost, a rating, and a cost efficiency, basically. So for this one, what we want here are different fields, because we just want the freelancers here. So let's just do this one, freelancer only, with the condition here. So here we have just do all applicants. So here we have the interns. Let's just move on to interview. let's do a selection here, but let's duplicate this one here. And let's also ask GPT to do the same here. And what we can do is filter it based on the rating is oops. Okay, so everything below 2 false. And now let's go here. So we have here also the rating field, but this is like project based, which we then calculate. Interview freelancer, inner circle, high ratings. This one is then for our inner circle here. Okay, so now we have our rating system. Let's just say all ratings here. Okay, we have been rated twice. Again, we have to connect this to our project board, which I cannot do now. So here we have our average rating. This one is also, yeah, okay. Delete this one here. So we have our average rating, top performance. Freelancer should then be average rating is above or equal to 4. And sort average rating the highest. Let's just do another one. So this time we take from the inner circle. Let's say we have another freelancer and our other freelancer is Mr. Test. And Mr. Test has also good scores, but Mr. Test is actually a little bit better. He has 2 5 stars and 1 4 star. Let's check this out here. Inner circle and then top freelancer, sort. Okay, so here we have our top performing freelancers. Mr. Test with an exceptional score. And let's just hide the fields here. Always available, sometimes available in some rate. So then we can already see like, okay, this is definitely then our favorite view because we love to work with our top freelancers here. And here we can see Mr. Test has an average score of 4.7, is always available and has a top price. That's what we love. So then we can also, of course, give some bonuses like who's performing good. Will, of course, that's something we are definitely trying to keep all those really good freelancers. And that's like an advice to get good people. It's so hard. I mean, price is one thing, but quality is the difficult part. Like there are so many cheap freelancers out there, but to find someone really good, sustainable, constant, and yeah, that's something you want to keep. So if money makes them happy, give them money. And if something else, then something else. So let's just duplicate this view here. Recently added freelancer, but of course this time we need more. Okay, and maybe also the date. Filter. Okay. What else do we have here? We have the rating system, time off, inner team. Yeah, I think that's something we do not need here. That's definitely something we can do. For other things, but not for our initial onboarding. And let's just do this one here. we haven't worked on the team members yet. Therefore, I just copy and paste here all the different departments. Just add here the department as well. I just thought we do this one here through a link because we have a department table, but I think this is overkill. So let's just do it simplify here, and we just do a multi-select department because we do not need this further on. And let's just do all the departments here. Sales. And here we can then add this one here. Video editor is for content creation, operations, content creation, so that we can display and actually also sort this one here through departments. But what we do instead is we do a section here, Now I know this is looking weird, but this will make a lot of sense. We are not sorting now in this view here. We are sorting the entire section. So we have here all the applicant statuses, but then in the section here, we just want all the possible people from content creation. And here what we then can do is, based on the job position, we have a lookup field and then display the department, which we can then filter. Department here from job position, and now we can say everything that has the badge, for example here, of content creation. And then we can start to duplicate all those fields here. Okay, now that's something we can actually add here as well. Although here is it important? Do they need to know what department? No, I don't think so. It's fine. First round. Do they need to know what department? No, it's fine. And then we can do another one here. This is looking good. So we have the inner team. Okay, we just have to adjust the filters. Inner team. Department. Active members, inactive, all members. So for two new members, this could be also something we could take, like the department from the job position. But Let's just create a new one here. Department. And let's just do a multi-select instead. Oh shit. Multi-select department, because sometimes we have someone who's like responsible for HR and operations, for example. Skills, do we need skills? No, not as of now, especially like when we want. That's something we have on our other table. Okay. Time off. Okay, let's just quickly finish the time off table here. So what do we have in our team? Time off from till. Time off. Let's just delete those two. They are confusing. Start date, end date, duration. So we have here let's just hide this one. That's confusing. The type, vacation, sick leave, personal leave. Let's create a formula for the duration. And then status is fine and notes not fine. Then, oops, what did I do? Formula. Okay. 2 and 1. Okay. And those are anyway hidden fields. Good. And let's just do time off here. We do not need the department time offs. Okay, here we go. Okay, this is looking good. Did we miss something? No, that's fine because that should be part of our onboarding now. Actually, we could start. So I think I have to stop the recording now, import the data and just hide specific parts here because I have those information in other bases and then go from there. But let's just check what else could we do for now before we move on. And then I think for the last part we have then finally to integrate all the AI. But I think for now we are all good. Let's just check one more here. So we have this one. Actually, we could do the intern. But it's the same route than the full-time. Intern, review test. Yeah, actually it's the same route. Let's just build before we end this live stream here. Let's just build the basic interface, how this could look like. Okay, so what we need here is, this view is actually quite good already. Let's start with this one here. And here we need the application profiles. So we do not need any filter as of now. Yeah, we can do that all later on. So let's just create those here. Phone pre-rating. Okay, so this is how it's looking like. I mean, as of now, of course, nothing special. But as soon as we add specific things, Let's just see. Let's just add a picture here. Or I just copy one from here. Copy profile picture. Let's start this view here, all applicants. And let's just copy another image for the other applicant here. Let's delete this one. Okay. Profile picture. We can then add, of course, like elements here, tabs. So we could sort through statuses, for example. Okay, what we want is the profile image here. We want this one as our hero. Let's just change the style here. Let's play around with this style. I'm looking for the thumbnail. Okay, now we just have to arrange this one and design, but we actually have also other options. So when we add here a page, actually my favorite view is the list view. That makes it so much easier to do, especially like sorting things out. But because of the profile image, I think a lot of people prefer this one. So we'll leave it for now. But let's just see how. Just like the design options here are always so limited, it's kind of like annoying. But we could, of course, create here let's just add a group. just make this one here smaller. It's kind of like too large, too much here. Okay, let's just leave it like this. Phone, school, major. Of course, we can even do further could even do further adjustments here. So let's just put YU higher. Resume, equipment, hobbies, expected salary, okay, years of experience, rate per day, first round, do we need it here? Nope. Date applied, no. Last modified, real. Yes. Okay. Loom video. Where do we put it? Here. No. Let's just put this one here. But this is kind of like too much. YU, Loom video, and then let's do it down below the resume here. Okay. Let's keep this one small. Okay, we have the basic information about the applicant. We have the status. That should be definitely editable. Okay, now let's just start here with our new applicants. And those here are only that needs to get reviewed. So that means here what we want is filter So let's just preview this one here. This is what the HR person would go through. So let's just say Theo would be in review test. number 2. And this one is on onboarding. We have all the fields, but of course, what we need here are for each section here. So we have here tabs. And what we need is a different view based on the status here. Okay, so we have here the first round. And if ever, we can then also add the second round here. So we have here test results, first round, second round. This is just for the rating. And this is anyway just for the pre-rating here, which we can then hide as soon as... So this one is only there, pre-rating. If first round let's just do another field here. Okay, now on the first round, what we want is a lookup field for the test result. And as soon as we have the test result, we do not want to display this here anymore. Okay, so as soon as we have here the first round, this disappears. And for the other one, for example, we still have the pre-rating. We can give it already some rating. If it's like super bad, we can just reject them directly. We have the information. And now what we could add is, like, if certain informations are missing, we could add actually a field that says like, okay, every time we click on this button, send an email to this applicant. But this is something not important for now. Okay, so we have here the status board. We could, of course, also create an activity tracker that it depends who's doing the HR. Like if there is an email interaction in between, we can, of course, like comment it here inside, or just take basically the whole conversation from Gmail, but the simplest way would just to do it this way. So then we have the application. And now we could start further views, but I think this is fine for now. And now we have to test this actually with actual data. So yeah, this is fine for now. I'll just continue on the next stream and finalize. I think after that we are also done with the entire HR board. But for now, that should be it. So thanks and see you on the next one.